My beloved, I have seen the hidden corners of your heart. The places no one else knows exist, the rooms where you've locked away the pain you couldn't put into words, the heartbreak you've carried like a silent weight for far too long. I was there in the moment it first broke you, when the air left your lungs and you felt something in your spirit shatter so deeply that you thought you'd never feel whole again. I saw you force a smile in front of others, telling them you were fine, while inside you were aching so profoundly that even prayer felt too heavy to lift. I have watched you revisit those moments in your mind late at night, wondering why it had to happen, why someone you trusted could cause such a wound, and why it still lingers after all this time. You've told yourself you've moved on, but in truth, you've only learned to function with the scar still bleeding beneath the surface. And yet I am here to tell you that this heartbreak, the one you never speak of, the one you don't even bring to me because you've convinced yourself I have more important things to care about, is the very place my healing power is moving next. You think I only work in the visible, but my greatest miracles begin in the hidden. I am stepping into the locked room of your heart, not to demand you open it, but to gently touch the wound until it begins to release its hold over you. You do not have to relive the pain for me to heal it, for I was already there when it happened. Every tear you swallowed, every moment you questioned your worth, every time you wondered if anyone truly saw you, I did. And now, I am not asking you to explain it to me, because I already understand it more than you ever could. This is not just about mending what was broken, it is about restoring what you believed could never be restored. I will bring peace to the memory that has haunted you, replacing it with a deep and unshakable assurance that what was taken will be redeemed. My healing will be so complete that you will remember the pain without feeling its sting, and the story will no longer end in heartbreak but in the kind of redemption that turns ashes into beauty. I need you to understand, beloved, that this heartbreak was not a sign of my absence. It was the place where I have been closest to you, even when you didn't feel me. You thought I was silent in that season, but I was speaking in ways your pain wouldn't allow you to hear. I was guarding you from the voices that would have deepened the wound. I was redirecting your steps so you wouldn't fall into the traps the enemy had set to use your grief against you, and I was keeping you hidden in plain sight while I worked in secret on your behalf. You have asked me countless times why it had to happen the way it did, and while you may never see the full picture on this side of eternity, I am lifting the veil enough for you to see that the very loss you thought would destroy you has been shaping you into the vessel I need you to be. You are stronger than you realize, but strength was not the only thing I was building in you. I was also deepening your compassion, sharpening your discernment, and teaching you to hear my voice in ways that joy alone could never teach. This heartbreak stripped you of illusions, forcing you to see what was true and what was not, and even though it broke you, it also freed you. There are places in your spirit now that are open to my presence in a way they never would have been if you had not walked through that valley. And I tell you this, not to justify the pain, but to remind you that I waste nothing, not your tears, not your questions, not your sleepless nights. I have been collecting each one, and they have become seeds for the harvest I am about to bring into your life. The people who saw your silence and assumed you had healed did not know that your silence was the soil where I have been planting something new. The enemy hoped the wound would make you bitter, but instead it will make you powerful, because I am turning it into a testimony that will open doors you never dreamed of walking through. There will come a day soon when you will tell the story of this heartbreak, not with trembling or tears of sorrow, but with the kind of holy boldness that makes the listener realize that only I could have carried you from where you were to where you are now. And when that day comes, you will see how every unanswered question, every moment of loneliness, every time you wanted to give up, was not wasted, it was preparation. I am telling you now, the healing you have been afraid to ask for is already on its way, and when it arrives, it will change not just your heart, but the way you see yourself and the way you see me forever. I know you've learned to live with the ache like it's a permanent part of you, as if it's a room in your heart you've locked and chosen never to enter again, because every time you peek inside, the air still smells like the day it broke, and you fear you'll drown if you breathe it in too deeply. But I am telling you, beloved, I am walking into that locked room right now with the key only I carry, and I will not leave it untouched. I am peeling back the memories that still hold you hostage, the what-ifs that replay in your mind like an unfinished song, the silent prayers you whispered in the dark when no one else could hear you. You may think you've hidden them even from me, but I have seen every fragment, every suppressed sob, every moment you smiled outwardly but felt hollow inside. This heartbreak has been a quiet thief, stealing pieces of your confidence, your trust, and your willingness to dream, and I have watched you shrink your hopes just so you won't be disappointed again. But my child, I am not in the business of shrinking dreams, I am in the business of resurrecting them. I am removing the false narratives the enemy wrote over your pain, those lies that said you were unworthy, unlovable, or forgotten, and I am replacing them with the truth that you are chosen, beloved, and seen. This is not a surface healing. I am going to the roots, digging into the soil of your soul where the hurt first took hold, not to reopen the wound, but to remove the poison that has been there for far too long. And when I do, you will feel the shift, not just emotionally, but spiritually. Where there has been heaviness, there will be a lightness so real that people around you will notice before you even speak of it. Where there has been guardedness, there will be a peace that allows you to trust again without fear of being shattered. You have believed the chapter ended with loss, but I am about to write a continuation that will redeem every line of your story. You will not just move on, you will move forward, with new joy, new purpose, and a heart that no longer flinches at the thought of love. And when that moment comes, the very thing you thought had ruined you will become the proof that I was always writing something greater. Hold on, because the restoration I am bringing will not only heal the heartbreak you never talk about, it will overflow into places of your life you never expected me to touch, and it will become a testimony that even the deepest pain cannot stop my plans for you. And now, beloved, I need you to understand this. The healing I am bringing is not a quick patch to make you functional. It is a complete restoration meant to make you whole, because I have no desire for you to live merely surviving when I died and rose so you could live abundantly. I am not afraid of the mess you have hidden, the scars you've concealed, or the memories you've buried so deep that you've convinced yourself they no longer exist. I see them, I acknowledge them, and I call them into the light, not to shame you, but to break their power over you. Every sleepless night you endured while trying to silence the echoes of what happened, every tear you swallowed so no one would notice, every smile you forced while feeling fractured inside, none of it went unseen by me. I was there when the words that cut you most deeply were spoken, I was there when you felt abandoned, and I was there when you questioned why I didn't stop it. But I tell you now, I was already weaving redemption into those moments, planting seeds of restoration that are just now breaking the surface. You will look back on this heartbreak and realize it was the soil where your deepest intimacy with me began to grow, where your resilience was forged, where your compassion for others was deepened. Soon, you will step into blessings so specific, so perfectly aligned with what you lost, that you will know without a doubt it was my hand that placed them there. And the very wound that once made you question your worth will become the platform from which you speak life into others, the proof that no pain is wasted in my kingdom. I am bringing people into your life who will not handle your heart carelessly, who will see the value in you without you having to convince them, who will love you without conditions or expiration dates. I am rebuilding your ability to trust, not because I want you to forget the past, but because I want you to see that I can write a future so good it will heal the way you view love itself. You will walk out of this season not only free from the heartbreak you never speak of, but filled with a joy so unshakable that the enemy will regret ever touching your life. So, take my hand now, release the remnants of what hurt you, and watch as I turn the pain that once silenced you into the song that announces your victory. Because this is the chapter where you don't just survive, you soar, and every eye that once pitied you will marvel at what I have done.